Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another live stream, but it is not just any live stream, even though we do this annually. This is my annual Blood on the Tracks live stream. However, this is the 50th anniversary live stream because Bob Dylan's album Blood on the Tracks, in my opinion, the greatest album of all time, turns 50 today, January 20th. And that's really, other than MLK Day, the only thing going on today that we need to worry about. And so, what I'm going to do, like I do every year, I'm going to chat about the songs, play the songs, all of that good stuff, because this is, like I said, the greatest album of all time that we were talking about here. So we're going to start off with the first track on the record, and that is Tangled Up in Blue. So without further ado, here's Tangled Up in Blue. Early one morning the sun was shining, and I was laying in bed, wondering if she changed at all, if her hair was still red. The folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress, Papa's vein book wasn't big enough. And now I'm standing on the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes. Heading out for the East Coast, Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. Tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could and abandoned it out west. Split it up on the docks at night, both agreeing it was best. She turned around and looked at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue, tangled up in blue. I had a job in the great north woods, working as a cook for a spell, but I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where lucky was to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat right outside the Delacroix. But all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a bit. I just kept looking in the side of her face, and the spotlight so clear. Then later on, as the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there in the back of my chair, said, "Tell me, don't I know your name?" I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines on my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoe, tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. I thought you'd never say hello, she said, you look like a silent type. Then she opened up a book of poems and handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of them words rang true and glow like burning coal, pouring off of every page like it was written in my soul, from me to you, tangled up in blue. I lived with them on Montague Street in a basement down the stairs. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. Then he started into dealing with slaves and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and she froze up inside. And when it finally the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on like a bird that flew, tangled up in blue. So now I'm going back again. I got to get to somehow. All the people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters' wives. I don't know how it all got started, I don't know what they do with their lives. But me, I'm still on the road, heading for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue. All right, and that was Tangled Up in Blue, like I said, the lead track off of the greatest album of all time, Blood on the Tracks, which turns 50 today. So Tangled Up in Blue, like I said, is the first track on Blood on the Tracks, and if Blood on the Tracks is the greatest album ever, then Tangled Up in Blue to me is the greatest story ever told, at least in song form. Uh, so uh, it's interesting because growing up, this was Tangled Up in Blue was the first song that I ever remember hearing by Bob Dylan, and it just changed everything for me, albeit not immediately, but I could tell there was something different about that song. Um, but the older I get, quite unfortunately, this next song, Simple Twist of Fate, really is the one that I relate to more. So this is Simple Twist of Fate, and I hope you enjoy it. They sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him and he felt a spark tingle to his bones. 'Twas then he felt alone and wished that he'd gone straight and watched out more simple twist of fate. They walked alone by the old canal, a little confused, I remember well, and stepped into a strange hotel with a neon burning bright. He felt the heat of the night hit him like a freight train, moving with a simple twist of fate. A saxophone someplace far off played as she was walking on by the arcade. As the light buzzed through a beat-up shade where he was waking up, she dropped a coin into the cup of the blind man at the gate, and forgot about a simple twist of fate. He woke up, the room was bare. He didn't see her anywhere. He told himself that he didn't care and pushed the window open wide. Felt an emptiness inside to which he just could not relate. brought on by a simple twist of fate. He hears the ticking of the clocks and walks along with a parrot that talks. He hunts her down by the waterfront docks where the sailors all come in. Maybe she'll pick him out again. How long must he wait? One more time for a simple twist of fate. People tell me it's a sin to know and feel too much within. I still believe she was my twin, but I lost the ring. She was born in the spring, and I was born too late. Blame it on a simple twist of fate. All right, and that was Simple Twist of Fate, like I said, the second track off of Blood on the Tracks, which we are celebrating tonight, turns 50. And like I said, greatest album of all time. So it's interesting, if you listen to the real live version of Tangled Up in Blue by Bob Dylan, he actually changes Blood on, or the Tangled Up in Blue, excuse me, to third person. So it was early one morning, the sun was shining, he was lying in bed. And with Simple Twist of Fate, he talks mostly in the third person until the very end, where he says she was born in the spring and I was born too late. Interestingly, I actually dated somebody a couple of years ago. We won't get into that too much, but she actually was born in the spring and I was a little bit younger than her. So that was pretty darn funny. But also, like I said, not really, because I've related to that a lot more over the years. Tangled Up in Blue, there is so much that I've said about it, but so much can be said about it. Throughout the making of this album, he was taking art classes from this guy, like Rebus, I think his name was Rebus, something along those lines. And so that really helped him like paint a story as opposed to just telling a story. And Tangled Up in Blue was one of those as well, that you could see kind of the past, the present, and the future all combined into one. And, so he leaps time frames in Tangled Up in Blue, and he leaps perspectives in Simple Twist. And so those are just a really fascinating first two songs to the record, and we're just getting started. Now, it's interesting because when I think of a concept album, a lot of the times what I'll think of is something like Grand Illusion, or you know, even, I mean, I suppose this record too, but what I think of a little bit more in this record is that, yes, it's a concept. The concept is heartbreak. But it's more so, it's harder to listen to them out of order because they stand up on their own, but you can kind of tell the narrator throughout this whole thing is kind of losing steam. And so you can feel that as the songs get slower. And this song, Simple Twist of Fate, or I'm sorry, this song, You're a Big Girl Now, kind of builds on Simple Twist of Fate, and saying like, hey, this is your decision. And to quote my grandfather, you made the bed, now eat it. So that's basically what You're a Big Girl Now is. And I hope you enjoy it. Our conversation was short and sweet. It nearly swept me off of my feet, and I'm back in the rain. Oh, and you're on dry land. You made it there somehow. You're a big girl now. But on the horizon, sitting on a fence, he is singing his song for me at his own expense, and I'm just like that bird. Oh, singing just for you. I hope that you can hear me singing through all these tears. Time is a jet plane, it moves so fast. Oh, but what a shame that our we shared can last. I can change, I swear. Oh, see what you can do. I can make it through. You can make it too. Love is so simple, to quote a phrase. You've known it all this time, I'm learning it these days. Oh, I know where I can find you. Oh, in somebody's room, it's the price I have to pay. You're a big girl all the way. The change in the weather is known to be extreme, but what's the sense in changing horses in midstream? I'm going out of my mind. Oh, with a pain that stops and starts like a corkscrew to my heart. Ever since we've been apart. All right, and that was You're a Big Girl Now. Like I said, the third track off of Blood on the Tracks, which turned 50 today, turns 50. We're celebrating all day. Really, we're celebrating all year. That's just how this goes. But this next song is one of my favorites by Dylan. And this, and just in general, really, but this is a song that is called Idiot Wind. And one of my favorite things to talk about is in this particular album. So 5 of the tracks were, well, all of them were recorded in New York to begin with. And then Bob's brother convinced him to re-record some of them to sound a little less dark. And he recorded them back in the great state of Minnesota and the OK city of Minneapolis. And that's what you hear on the record. And Idiot Wind was one of the 5 that he re-recorded in Minneapolis. Now, the reason why his brother suggested that he should re-record them is to make them sound, like I said, a little less dark, a little more commercial friendly. And so what you're about to hear is Bob Dylan holding back. So just keep that in mind as you listen to these lyrics. So this is Idiot Wind, and I hope you enjoy it. Someone's got it in for me. They're planning stories in the press. Whoever it is, wish they'd cut it out quick. But when they will, I can only guess. They say I shot a man named Gray, took his wife to Italy. She had netted $1 million, and when she died and came to me, I can't help it if I'm lucky. People see me all the time, and they just can't remember how to act. Their minds are filled with big ideas, images, and distorted facts. Even you yesterday had to ask me where it was at. I couldn't believe after all these years you didn't know me better than that. Sweet lady, little wind blowing every time you move your mouth, blowing down the mangroves heading south. Little wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. I ran into the fortune teller who said, be aware of lightning that might strike. I haven't known peace and quiet for so long, I can't even remember what it's like. There's a lone soldier on the cross, smoke pouring out of a boxcar door. You didn't know and didn't think there'd be none in the final, and he won the wars after losing every battle. I woke up on the roadside, daydreaming about the way things sometimes are. Visions of your chestnut mare shoot through my head, and I'm making me see scars. You were the ones that I love best, cover up the truth with lies. One day you'll be in the ditch, flies buzzing around your eyes, blood on your saddle. Little wind blowing through the flowers on your tomb, blowing through the curtains in your room. Little wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. It was gravity which pulled us down, and destiny which broke us apart. You tamed the lion in my cage, but it just wasn't enough to change my heart. Now everything's a little upside down. As a matter of fact, the wheels have stopped. What's bad is good, what's good is bad. You'll find out when you reach the top. You're at the bottom. I noticed at the ceremony your corrupt ways have finally made you blind. I can't remember your face anymore. Your mouth has changed, your eyes don't look into mine. The priest wore black on the seventh day and sat stone-faced while the building burned. I waited for you on the running boards near the cypress trees while the springtime turned slowly into autumn. Yet it wind blowing like a circle around my skull from the Grand Coulee Dam to the Capet Eye. Yet it wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. I can't feel you anymore. I can't even touch the books you read. Every time I crawl past your door, I've been wishing I was someone else instead. Down the highway, down the tracks, down the road to ecstasy, I followed you beneath the stars, haunted by your memory and all your raging glory. I've been double-crossed now for the very last time, and now I am finally free. I kissed goodbye the howling beast on the borderline which separated you from me. You'll never know that I suffer, nor the pain I rise above, and I'll never know the same about you, your holiness, or your kind of love, and it makes me feel so sorry. Yet it wind blowing through the buttons of our coats, blowing through the letters that we wrote. Yet it wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. But we're both idiots, babe. It's a wonder that we still know how to breathe. All right. I always mess up that last chorus, but the line is actually saying blowing through the buttons of our coats, blowing through the letters that we wrote. Idiot wind blowing through the dust upon our shelves. We're idiots, babe. It's a wonder we can even feed ourselves. But I digress. So I talk about this every year that there's a connection between Idiot Wind and I Only Want to Be With You by Hootie and the Blowfish, which are incredibly different songs. But the connection is that the line about the say I shot a man named Gray, that whole part is actually lifted from Idiot Wind and put into I Only Want to Be With You. But there's another connection to Hootie and the Blowfish because before he even says that, he says, put on a little Dylan sitting on a fence. And so that is in all likelihood a reference to Bird on the Horizon sitting on the fence, which is from You're a Big Girl Now. We're going to get a little more cheerful here. And we're going to play You're Going to Make Me Lonesome When You Go. Hope you enjoy it. I see love go by my door, it's never been this close before, never been so easy or so slow. I've been shooting in the dark too long, and something isn't right, it's wrong. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Dragging clouds so high above, I've only known careless love. It's always hit me from below. This time around it's more correct, right on target, so direct. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Purple clover, queen and lace, crimson hair across your face. You could make me cry if you don't know. Can't remember what I was thinking of. You might be spoiling me too much love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Flowers on the hillside blooming crazy, crickets talking back and forth in rhyme. Blue river running slow and lazy. I could stay with you forever and never realize the time. Situations have ended, sad relationships have all been bad. Might have been like Elaine and Rimbaud, but there's no way I can compare all the scenes to this affair. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm doing, staying far behind without you. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm saying. You're gonna make me give myself a good talking to. I look for you in Honolulu, San Francisco, Ashtabula. You're gonna have to leave me now, I know, but I'll see you in the skies above, in the tall grass, and the ones I love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. All right, that was You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go, closing out the first side of Blood on the Tracks. Like I said, the greatest album of all time, which turns 50 years old today. So next up, we're going to play Meet Me in the Morning, which is this bluesy number. And so you'll be able to hear that in just a second. Meet me in the morning, 56th and Wabasha. Meet me in the morning, 56th and Wabasha. Honey, we're making Kansas by the time the snow begins to fall. When darkest hour is right before the dawn. They say the youngest hour is right before the dawn. But you wouldn't know it by me. Every day's been darkness since you've been gone. Little rooster crowing, there must be something on his mind. Well, I feel just like that rooster. Honey, you treat me so unkind. Well, I struggled through the barbed wire and felt the hair from above. Well, I struggled through the barbed wire and felt the hair fall from above. Well, you know I ran the hound dog. Honey, you know I earned your love. Look at the sun sinking like a ship. Look at the sun sinking just like a ship. Ain't that just like my heart, babe? When you touch my lips, all right, and that was Meet Me in the Morning. So the fun fact that I always give about that particular song is that, at least in Minneapolis, the intersection of 56th and Wabasha isn't a thing. And so I think that that's a really cool, like, hidden message of, like, hey, let's meet at 56th and Wabasha. That doesn't exist, and neither does Hope for Us. I would love to think that that's what he was going for. But like I said, more on Meet Me in the Morning in a little bit. Next, we're going to shift gears to the song Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts, which is kind of a weird track on the album. I mean, it is anyway, but it's a story song, but it's also an allegory. So it's weird. It's not just the like I, you, he, she, etc. There are all of these characters in there, and it's probably the most fascinating song on the record as a result of that. But I'm gonna be playing it for you here, and this is Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts. The festival was over and the boys were all planning for a fall. The cabaret was quiet except for the drilling in the wall. The nervy was shut down. Anyone with any sense had already left town. He was standing in the doorway looking like the Jack of Hearts. He moved across the mirror room, set it up for everyone, he said. Then everyone commenced to do what they were doing before he turned their heads. Then he walked up to a stranger and asked him with a grin, could you kindly tell me, friend, what time does the show begin? Then he moved into the corner, face down like the Jack of Hearts. Backstage, the girls were all playing 5 cards stood by the stairs. Lily had 2 queens, she was hoping for a third to match her pair. Outside, the streets were filling up, the window open wide. A gentle breeze was blowing, you could feel it from inside. Lily called another bed and she drew up the Jack of Hearts. Big Jim was no one's fool, he owned the town's only diamond mine. He made his usual entrance, looking so dandy and so fine, with his bodyguards and silver mane and every hair in place. He took whatever he wanted to and laid it all to waste, but his bodyguards and silver cane were no match for the Jack of Hearts. Rosemary combed her hair and she took a carriage into town. She slipped in through the side door looking like a queen without a crown. She fluttered her false eyelashes and whispered in his ear, "Sorry, darling, that I'm late," but he didn't seem to hear. He was staring into space over at the Jack of Hearts. I know I've seen that face somewhere, Big Jim was thinking to himself. Maybe down in Mexico, or a picture up on somebody's shelf. But then the crowd began to stamp their feet and the house lights did dim, and in the darkness of the room there was only Jim and him, staring at the butterfly who just drew the Jack of Hearts. Lily was a princess, she was fair-skinned and precious as a child. She did whatever she had to do, had that certain flash every time she smiled. She came away from a broken home and lots of strange affairs with men in every walk of life, which took her everywhere. But she never met anyone quite like the Jack of Hearts. The hanging judge came in unnoticed, and he was being wined and dined. The drilling in the wall kept up, but no one seemed to pay it any mind. It was known around that Lily had Jim's thing, and nothing ever would become Lily and the King. No, nothing ever would, except for maybe the Jack of Hearts. Yeah, Rosemary started drinking out and seeing the reflection in the night. She was tired of the attention, tired of playing the role of Big Jim's wife. She had done lots of bad things, even once tried suicide. Was looking to do just good, one good deed before she died. She was gazing into the future, riding on the Jack of Hearts. Lily took her dress off and she buried it away. As your love run out, she laughed at him. Well, I guess you must have known you would someday. Me never learning out, you knew there's a brand new coat of paint. I'm glad to see you look alive and just like a saint. Down the hallway, the footsteps were coming for the Jack of Hearts. The backstage manager was pacing all around by his chair. There's something funny going on, he said, I can just feel it in the air. He went to get the hanging judge, but the hanging judge was drunk. As the leading actor hurried by the costume of a monk, there was no actor anywhere better than the Jack of Hearts. No one knew the circumstance, but they say it happened pretty quick. The door to the dressing room burst open and a cold revolver clicked. And Big Jim was standing there, you couldn't say surprised. Rosemary right beside him, studying her eyes. She was with Big Jim, but she was leaning to the Jack of Hearts. 2 doors down, the boys had finally made it through the wall and cleaned out the bank safe. It said that they got off with quite a haul. In the darkness by the riverbed, they waited on the ground for one more member who had some business back in town. But they couldn't go no further without the Jack of Hearts. The next day was singing day, the sky it was overcast and black. Big Jim lay covered up, he was killed by a penknife in the back. And Rosemary on the gallows, she didn't even blink. The hanging judge was sober, he hadn't had a drink. The only person on the scene missing was the Jack of Hearts. The cabaret was empty, now a sign said closed for repair. Lily had already taken all of the dye out of her hair. She was thinking about her father, who she rarely saw, thinking about Rosemary and thinking about the law, but most of all she was thinking about the Jack of Hearts. All right, and that was Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts. The first half of that was a little bit rough, but we made it there somehow. Wrong song, but you know, that's fine. We'll make it work. Yeah. So next up, we have If You See Her, Say Hello. This is the 8th track of 10 on the standard edition. And I always really liked this song. And then a couple of years ago, I watched How I Met Your Mother, and I knew how it ended. And I knew there was one episode in particular that was very emotional toward the end. It was called Vesuvius. And in like the last scene, they used this song, If You See Her, Say Hello. And it was just spectacular. So every year around the anniversary of this song being released, which is January 17th, I was a couple days off this year. But anyway, I watched that episode just to kind of torture myself because it's really sad, but it's really, really well done, well used. So this is If You See Her, Say Hello, and I hope you enjoy it. If you see her, say hello. She might be in Tangier. She left here last early spring, is living there, I hear. Save me that I'm alright, though things get kinda slow. She might think I've forgotten her, don't tell her it isn't so. We had a falling out like lovers often will, and the thing around she left that night, it still brings me a chill. And though our separation, it pierced me to the heart, she still lives inside of me. We've never been apart. If you get close to her, kiss her once for me. I always respected her for doing what she did and getting free. Oh, whatever makes her happy, I won't stand in her way. Though the bitter taste still lingers on from the night I tried to make her stay. And I hear a name here and there as I go from town to town. And I've never gotten used to it. I've just learned to turn it off. Either I'm too sensitive or else I'm getting soft. Sundown, yellow moon, I replay the past. I know every scene by heart, it all went by so fast. And if she's passing back this way, tell her I'm not hard to find. Tell her she ain't look me up if she's got the time. All right, and that was If You See Her, Say Hello. Like I said, the 8th track off of Blood on the Tracks, which turns 50 today. Those last two verses are probably my favorite, but my absolute favorite line from that song, and I use this all the time, is saying, I've never gotten used to it. I've just learned to turn it off. It's such a good line, such a relatable one. But we move on to something a little bit more chipper, the last chipper song of the record, and this is Shelter from the Storm. 'Twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blankness was a virtue and the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of longing, and she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I give my word. In a world of still and deadly men who are fighting to be warm, come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I was burned out from exhaustion, buried in the air, poisoned in the bushes and blown out on the trail. Hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there, with silver bracelets on her wrists and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown and thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. When the deputy walks on our nails and the preacher rides a mile, but nothing really matters much, it's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows his suit alone. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I heard newborn babies wailing like a mourning dove, an old man with broken teeth, stranded without love. Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. In a little hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I'm bargained for salvation and she gave me a little dose. I offered up my innocence, I got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, I'm living in a foreign country, but I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and Noah were born. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. All right, and that was Shelter from the Storm. More on that particular song in a little bit. But so many good lines in that particular one. The bargain for salvation gave me a lethal dose. That's just such a fabulous line. So we're going to close with Buckets of Rain. This is one of my other favorites on the record in the kind of rediscovery of it. This was, like I said, a standout track for me. And part of the reason for that is that Shelter from the Storm is really, really positive. And so I always thought, like, oh, cool, that's how the record ends. But no, it ends with this one. And that is Buckets of Rain. And I hope you enjoy it. Buckets of rain, buckets of tears, got all them buckets coming out of my ears. Buckets of moonbeams in mine. You got all the love, honey, maybe I can stand. I've been making all I can know. Got some pretty people, miss me like smoke. Friends will arrive and friends will disappear. If you want me, honey, maybe I'll be. I like your smile and your fingertips. I like the way that you move your hips. I like the cool way that you look at me. Everything about you is bringing me misery. Little red wagon, little red bike. I ain't no monkey, but I know what I like. I like the way you let me strong and slow. I'm taking you with me, honey, baby, when I go. Life is sad, life is a bust. All you can do is do what you must. You do what you can, you do it well. I do it all for you, honey, baby, can't you tell? All right, and that was Buckets of Rain. Like I said, closing out the greatest album of all time, which turns 50 years old today. That would be Blood on the Tracks. We are celebrating all day today, all night. And then until December 31st, we'll be celebrating. Then we'll start over again on January 1st of next year, because it is such a spectacular album. And it's so great that there were some outtakes from the album, and I know why they were outtakes, but they're absolutely fabulous. So we're going to start off with an early version, as far as I can tell, of the song Shelter from the Storm. And this is the song Up to Me. Everything went from bad to worse, money never changed a thing. Death kept following, tracking us down, at least I heard your bluebirds sing. Now somebody's gotta show them time is an enemy. I know that you're long gone, I guess it must be up to me. If I thought about it, I never would have done it. I guess I would have let it slide. If I lived my life by what someone else was thinking, the other side me would have died. I was just too stubborn to ever be governed by forced insanity. Somebody had to reach the rising star, and guess it was up to me. Oh, the Union Central is piling out, and the orchids are in bloom. I've only got me one good show left, and it smells of stale moon. In 14 months, I only smiled once, and I didn't do it consciously. Somebody's gotta find your trail, I guess it must be up to me. It was like a revelation when you betrayed me with your touch. I just about convinced myself that nothing had changed that much. The old rounder in the iron mask slid me the masterpiece. Somebody had to unlock your heart, he said it was up to me. Well, I watched you slowly disappear down into the officers' club. I would have followed you in the door, but I didn't have a ticket stub. So I waited all night till the break of day, hoping one of us could get free. When the dawn came over the river bridge, I knew it was up to me. Oh, the only decent thing I did when I worked as a postal clerk was to haul your picture down off the wall near the cage where I used to work. Was I a fool or not to try to protect your identity? Look through it, burned out, my friend, I thought it might be up to me. Well, I met somebody face to face and I had to remove my hat. She's everything I need in love, but I can't be swayed by that. It frightens me, the awful truth, how sweet life can be. But she ain't gonna make me move, I guess it must be up to me. We heard the sermon on the mount, and I knew it was too complex. It didn't amount to anything more than what the broken glass reflects. When you bite out more than you can chew, you pay the penalty. Somebody's gotta tell the tale, I guess it must be up to me. We heard the Weldon Creek came in, pimping tonight at the Thunderbolt Cafe. Crystal wanted to talk to him, I had to look the other way. Well, I just can't rest without your love, I need your company. But you ain't gonna cross that line, I guess it must be up to me. There's a note left in the bottle, would you give it to Estelle? She's the one that you've been wondering about, but there's really nothing much to tell. We both heard voices for a while, now the rest is history. Somebody's gotta cry some tears, I guess it must be up to me. So go on, boys, and play your hands. Life is a pantomime. The ringleaders from the county seat say you don't have all that much time. And the girl with me behind the shade, she ain't my property. One of us has gotta hit the road, I guess it must be up to me. And if we never meet again, baby, remember me. How my lone guitar played sweet for you, that old time melody. And the harmonica around my neck, I blew it for you free. No one could ever play that tune, you knew it was up to me. All right, and that was Up to Me, like I said, an outtake from Blood on the Tracks. And as far as I can tell, it's an early draft of Shelter from the Storm. So obviously it became that, but then, even if it had been its own song, then, there was already Tangled Up in Blue and there was already Shelter from the Storm. On this particular record, and so 3 story songs would have been a little excessive. I think that's probably what Dylan was thinking, but still a uh, fabulous song with fabulous lines. One of which actually a couple of years ago helped give the name to our live stream, which was the only decent thing I did when I was working as a postal clerk. There's so many beyond that that I just love, that you might see on future album titles, because I always name albums after songs, and my head was kind of spinning there. um, when I was playing that. So we are going to finish up with Call Letter Blues, and this particular song appeared in my famous First Drafts blog, where I talked about Meet Me in the Morning, and this was kind of the original uh, draft of Meet Me in the Morning, and this is Call Letter Blues. Ooh, that's way too dark, even for the New York sessions. Well, I walked all night long, listening to those church bells chime. Well, I walked all night long, listening to those church bells chime. Either someone needing mercy or thinking how I did 'em wrong all the time. Well, your friends come by for you. I don't know what I should say. Well, your friends come by for you. I don't know what I should say. I just can't face up to tell them, honey, you just went away. Where the children cry for mother, I tell them mother took a trip. Yeah, the children cry for mother, I tell them mother took a trip. Well, I walk on pins and needles, hoping that my tongue don't slip. Well, I gaze at passing strangers, just in case I might see you. Yes, I gaze at passing strangers, just in case I might see you. But the sun goes round the heavens, and another day just drives on through. All right, and that was Call Letter Blues. Like I said, the second outtake. There were other outtakes, but I'm not talking about the same song. I'm talking about different songs that got scrapped and all of that stuff from the album. And I have to say, Bob Dylan's my hero, but I do a much better live version of those last two songs than he does. And, it certainly helps that he's never played them live, but, I will take it and keep on bragging about that. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Minnesota Mike. I always love doing this, even if it isn't perfect, the arrangements. But I love doing it. I've been celebrating Blood on the Tracks since about its 40th anniversary when I did my radio show, the Pass the Mic Radio Hour, and played the album in its entirety, although I had some covers thrown in there as well. But it is just a spectacular album. Stay tuned later on in the year because we'll also celebrate Highway 61 Revisited and potentially bringing it all back home as well, because those turn 60 this year. So stay tuned for that. But I am Minnesota Mike. Thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure you check me out on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff.